Oh, yeah?
Welcome back to Deus Ex. We are back at UNATCO headquarters after a chaotic end to the NSF warehouse. As you can see, my body in the top left corner is completely fucked up. I've lost one of my legs. But that's okay. It was successful. Alex Jacobson said it was a success. So we're going to go with that. Except I'm moving slowly because, again, I have a dead leg. But we'll get that healed up soon enough. We just need to go see Jaime. Load the game.
Manderley said he's busy, but to wait outside his office.
I will. We're actually going to go see Manderley last. Just because there's some stuff I would like to do.
Never mind Anna Navarra. She hates everybody.
I know, she hates everyone. First thing, let's recheck these offices. Because sometimes they will hold new stuff.
Just filling out a report on the mop-up operation.
You do good work, sir.
I think the suits are putting the squeeze on Manderley about this one.
Yeah, you can get some insight into how people are feeling just based on the random shit people say as you walk by. It's cool. Here we go. We got some trank darts in this office. Looks like that's it here, though. Anything new on the old public access? Ah, we got some new stuff here. Stopping Terror, a new perspective on freedom. When one maniac can wipe out a city of 20 million with a microbe developed in his basement, a new approach to law enforcement becomes necessary. Every citizen of the world must be placed under surveillance. That means sky cams at every intersection, computer-mediated analysis of every phone call, email, and snail mail, and a purely electronic economy in which every transaction is recorded and data mined for suspicious activity. We're close to achieving this goal. Some would say that human liberty has been compromised, but the reality is just the opposite. As surveillance expands, people become free from danger, free to walk alone at night, free to work in a safe place, and free to buy any legal product or service without the threat of fraud. One day, every man and woman will quietly earn credits, purchase items for quiet homes on quiet streets, have cookouts with neighbors and strangers alike, and sleep with doors and windows wide open. If that isn't the tranquil dream of every free civilization throughout history, what is? Anna Navarra, Agent UNATCO. Okay. Terrorism, war without fronts. How do we fight an underground threat, one with no defined territory, base, or, often, known leader? We look to military history. The casebook example of how to manage civil unrest is the Hamlet Evaluation System, HES, developed by the U.S. military during its occupation of South Vietnam in the 20th century. Since population centers in that country contained both communist rebels and loyal citizens, the towns were ranked on a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the safest. The monthly reports of local commanders, useful in Vietnam for maintaining contour maps of ideology concentration, have provided many components of the UNATCO Sector Field Report. The modern UDU, UNATCO Deployed Unit, has been modeled on the CAP, Combined Action Platoon, deployed in Vietnam, a 15-man rifle squad responsible for a single hamlet. CAP-protected villages typically earned a 2.95 Het score compared to a 1.6 average in the same region. CAP units performed in many mission roles, but they primarily worked with indigenous police to strengthen ideological ties. Like CAP units, UNATCO teams are primarily concerned with building safe communities. Joseph Manderley. And then we have two more terrorists, according to UNATCO. We got the Templars. Yeah, apparently those are real in Deus Ex. There is some debate as to whether the Templars should be considered a terrorist organization because they do not employ the typical tools of terrorism. But make no mistake, the Templars are just as dangerous as any other group that might use guns and bombs to intimidate the free citizens of a country. Only the Templars wield blackmail and extortion as their weapons. Supposedly the direct descendant of a so-called secret society, with its roots in the medieval Crusades, the present-day Templars are mainly concerned with increasing their own bank accounts and elaborately illegal financial manipulations that have left entire entire markets collapsed in their wake. The Templars are currently classified as inactive after being successfully diminished by a combined UNATCO-Interpol raid on their Paris headquarters in 2051. However, several key Templar figures are still at large and may attempt to reform the organization under a new designation. And then finally we have X-51. Little is known about X-51 aside from their involvement in all manner of illegal research, much of it prescribed by worldwide concords over the last 50 years. Computer profiling shows a high likelihood that X-51 was responsible for the SoCal disaster that submerged much of Southern California, though the exact nature of the experiment that led to the tragedy is still unknown. Little other information is available on the overall objective of X-51, if any exists. X-51 is believed to be led by Gary Savage, a scientist previously employed by the U.S. government for a variety of black projects until he disappeared under mysterious circumstances several years ago. All agents are advised to be vigilant for any indications as to the whereabouts of Savage or other members of X-51 and report them immediately to their operator or immediate supervisor. There we go. Now let's hack this bitch. While I sip of some cough. Ugh! Give me that money. Anyone down here?
Gunther's full of it. Earlier tonight, in the statue, I bet you had at least half a dozen takedowns. At least.
Dude, I know, man! God! I commanded that shit! Millennium Magazine. Oh, that's an image. Ah! That's Bob Page. Will Aquinas change the world? That's something we'll hear about later. But, can we add a note? Can we add a note? Douchebag.
I heard about the raid. Don't sweat it. I'm sure Paul had his reasons.
Paul had his reasons? What are you guys talking about? I guess we'll find out soon. Still no one picked up the ciggies. I guess everyone just knows that's the secret smoke. When you just need a little something extra. Alright, let's check out Paul's office. Maybe we can learn something in here. Well, nothing's much changed. Let's see if his apartment password will work here. No, it will not. Okay. Guess we're gonna have to hack it. Nothing. Nothing from Paul. Alright. So let's work our way downstairs.
We lost a buddy of ours in the park in Hell's Kitchen. Guess there wasn't much you could do.
Well, I did just sit and watch the fight. That might have had something to do with it. Ah. Whatever. Anything else here? Righteous Angels, Perspectives on UNATCO by Wendy White, Chapter 2, The New Seraphim. As the giddiness that greeted the new millennium faded to grim apathy in the face of plague, famine, and the inevitable waves of national convulsions that followed in their wake, the United Nations found itself increasingly outmoded and incapable and unable to cope with the worldwide rise in terrorism. Tensions between the affluent, walled away within private enclaves, and those less fortunate escaped rapidly as basic medical care facilities collapsed under the weight of each new outbreak. The very pervasiveness of the net fractured communities into smaller and smaller special interest groups, and as local police grew increasingly ineffectual and access to deadlier weaponry more commonplace, conflicts spilled over national borders and onto the streets of major urban cities. The United Nations were forced to admit that their own military was both outmoded and unequipped to deal with these threats, so a new organization organization was required, UNATCO, an army of seraphim, divinely charged to mete out impartial justice with burning wings and flaming swords. Get the fuck out of my ass, dude. This... Ugh. What's that? It's a mod of some sort. I'm not terribly concerned about it. Let's see what's happening in my office. Has anyone sent me any emails? What were we again? JCD. Bionic Man. That was it. From Jaime Reyes to JC Denton. Congrats on surviving your first mission, Patrick. Thank you! I know it's all part of the job, but I'm glad to see you back in one piece, more or less anyways. I wonder if he says more or less if you actually get injured. Like I did. If you get this message before I get a chance to see you in person, then get your ass down here so I can patch you up. By the way, I hear a few things from up top, and I get the impression that they were definitely taking advantage of this NSF attack to evaluate your performance. So far, everyone seems to be ecstatic. Well, everyone except for Gunter, but he's got his own problems. Keep it up, keep an eye out too. I get the impression sometimes that everyone here has their own agenda, Jaime. Yeah, you think? And then, oh, here we go. Here's a message from Paul. From Paul to me, watch your back. I don't have much time, so I'm going to have to cut this short. They're going to tell you a lot of things about what went on today, and it's probably all going to get pinned on me. I've got my reasons, but I can't go into them right now, not over the net. But you've got to trust me that there are reasons. Maybe I can point you in the right direction. Tap a few computers and see what you come up with. Try Manderley's computer if you can risk it. Password is knight_killer. You might also check Navarra's, but I don't have her password. Cold woman, be careful around her. And for that matter, everyone else. P. So this is really important right here. So we know basically for a fact that Paul is kind of... If he's not actively working against UNATCO right now, he's definitely... His mind isn't with UNATCO. So we'll talk a little bit about it when we're done with this section of it, but... Ooh. A multi-tool? And 2 invisible flares, because they're not actually appearing on screen. That's okay, whatever. Alright, let's check out Anna's room. So, instead of knifing the dummy, she's now shoved a crowbar into its chest. I think she has anger problems. You know? Actually, while we're at her desk, we may as well, hack into her computer, you know? Because we treat the people we work with respect. Let me pop up the... Where's my, yeah, there we go. My screenshot. From Gunter Herman to Anna Navarra, subject Denton. He doesn't know how to spell. Or he has big... I think it's implied that he has, like, big, giant fingers and just can't type well. I'm not sure what I think of our agent Denton. He is not like the brother, but seems too eager to prove that he may be better than us. I wonder if he understands what may be at stake here, Gunter. Okay. And then from Jay Manderley to Anna Navarra, subject mission objectives. Of primary importance in the upcoming operation is recovering all of the stolen ambrosia. If any falls into terrorist hands, it could be a potential tool for blackmail that would pose a serious security risk. However, our best intelligence indicates that Juan Lebedev, a known terrorist leader, is behind this galling attack. While the loss of the ambrosia is a regrettable but salvageable incident, Lebedev poses a continuing threat to UNATCO. He's also a dangerous man, and if the operation should result in his termination rather than capture, there is no doubt that the agent responsible would be found to have acted cooperatively with the full force of the law. So, basically, Joseph Manderley has told Anna Navarra to essentially kill Juan Lebedev if she finds him. Okay? The reason I repeated that is that's going to become a major plot point later. Let's check out Gunter's room. Oh, he's hiding some money. Sorry, Gunty. He is... Is it 2 N's? It's 2. And then Zeitgeist. From G. Tremblay to G. Herman, subject ceiling fan. G. Herman wrote, Maintenance Man, first zit orange soda and now my ceiling fan. I know you do these things on purpose. I will be on assignment shortly. You may fix it then. Agent Herman, we appreciate that all offices in this facility should have functioning ventilation systems and will solve the issue with your office fan as soon as possible. However, regarding the vending machine in the lounge, your hand may simply have slipped, or perhaps your augmentations are in need of maintenance. In that case, I would suggest inquiring with Dr. Reyes. Regards, Gordon Tremblay. I like how they're bringing the joke back. Like he's really pissed off about the fucking orange soda. Alright, we're going to wait to go into Joseph Manderley's office in a bit. Because, as cool as it is, there's a little bit of a glitchy part.
I'd like to know what the feds are doing down in the cell block.
I'd like to know what the feds are doing down in the cell block. Well, you know, we're going to investigate. First, let's check the gun range. See if there's anything new to find down here.
They still have some terrorists downstairs. Ones you didn't kill in the statue.
I didn't kill anyone in the statue. Who's spreading rumors about me? I might have accidentally blown up a few people when I destroyed the generator. That's it.
Don't listen to what they're saying about the shootout in the park and Hell's Kitchen. You had other priorities.
So basically everyone's talking shit. That's what the game is saying. Everyone's talking shit. You know, you guys fucking do it then. How about that?
In the park and Hell's Kitchen. Guess there wasn't much you could do.
You guys do it.
They told us to hang tight. Objectives remain, apparently.
Carry on, Agent.
That's Shannon. She's still mad.
Stop following me. I've already reported you once. Carry on, Agent.
Sorry, Shannon. She really holds a grudge. I mean, I guess I did just walk right into the women's restroom and open up the stall where she was, but... Alright. Let us... You know what? Let's go down to the detention area and see what's going on down there, but... Those are all locked.
I don't think you're supposed to be down here, Agent.
Maybe. So we got 2 NSF people down here. So what was the... Let me grab my notebook where I've been writing down the thousands of codes this game throws at you. Because I don't remember what it is. 31173? Yeah.
I can sum it all up in one word. Self-reliance. That's what we stand for.
How about you tell me where that shipment is being taken?
UNATCO assumes that people are incapable of protecting themselves, and therefore should submit to surveillance and intimidation by an outside force. We won't do it.
The governments of the world believe an average citizen should not face the threat of terrorism alone.
We don't need your help. The technology exists today for an individual to protect his property against explosives, firearms, surveillance, intrusion, contamination.
350 million fortresses is not my idea of the land of the free.
It's better than one big fortress constructed by a corrupt government against its people. It's simple numbers. Big companies pay like 2% tax. Well, you and me, we pay like 50. It's the tax code that makes sure big bureaucracy gets bigger and people have no power.
Let's get back to the subject of the missing vaccine.
All taxes are social engineering. That's always been their real purpose.
I'm not going to stand here and listen to you badmouth the greatest democracy the world has ever known.
What happens is that politicians get money from big companies, so all the social engineering is for making big companies. Like I said, it's simple numbers. A government shouldn't have to occupy its own country with troops. If there wasn't organized oppression, there wouldn't be organized resistance, and what you call terrorism would not exist. You can lock me up, but you can't lock up the truth. If there wasn't organized oppression, there would...
Telling the truth. If you got interrogated, you wouldn't have any answers either. We both just follow orders. They already grilled me.
So, what I just did there was kind of bad. Because I am not authorized to interrogate these guys. But the reason I did that is because there's an interesting situation later in which the game recognizes that you did that. There's a lot of... I've mentioned it before,
I
but...
won't say anything, but I think you should go.
Yeah, see, he just realized that I talked to them. He's like, you should get the hell out of here. This game does a really good job of acknowledging shit that you've done, good or bad. And even though, yes, the game... I've mentioned it before, that yes, the game is played on rails, essentially. There are so many minor things you can do that the game acknowledges, and it's really fucking crazy. I'll go over
a chance to clean my gun.
Let's check out this final gun range and see if there's anything down here. This one usually has something like this. Got a lockpick. Get the fuck out of my way. What's that? I don't want that. Alright, let's go talk to our old buddy Sam Carter.
Gunther's full of it. Earlier tonight, in the statue, I bet you had at least half a dozen takedowns.
In addition to an accuracy weapon modification, I've got a couple of multi-tools.
Mr. Carter, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
I'm getting the impression that UNATCO is focused more on military operations than law enforcement.
The focus has shifted lately, I agree.
The only way Anna would have been satisfied is if I'd executed every terrorist in Castle Clinton. The standing order seems to be shoot to kill.
Direct intervention is always part of the game. In my day, we were just more civilized about it.
Civilized. That's the word. I guess I was expecting a little more class from the world's anti-terrorist organization.
We just have to strike a balance. Why don't I throw in an extra clip with those multi-tools? I trust you will be able to judge when one or the other is appropriate for achieving mission objectives.
I can't carry anything else right now. Hold on.
So he gave me the mod and the multi-tool. He just didn't give me the ammo. I'm probably full up on the ammo. You know what? Drop these. And he gave me an accuracy mod, which I don't know if I've gotten. When clamped to the frame of most projectile weapons, a harmonic balancer will dampen the vertical motion produced by firing a projectile, resulting in increased accuracy. UNATCO Ops File note: almost any weapon that has a significant amount of vibration can be modified with a balancer. I've even seen it work on the mini cross. I think I have seen this before, but anyway, we'll put that on our crossbow.
Ready to load up?
I can't carry anything else right now. Hold on.
Yeah, I guess I'm full on that ammo. That's fine. Alright, now let's go talk to Jaime and Sam Carter. No, sorry, Alex Jacobson. And we'll check Alex's little secret closet. His server room has changed again. The location of it, I mean. We read about Project Dybbuk. Get down. What do we got down here? A scope? Oh, I bought a scope already. That's why I was like, I don't know if I should buy the scope. Because I forgot you get one for free. Well, whatever. It's fine. Oh, he's not here. Well, we still have access to his secret... Well, not secret computer, but the one that has access to everyone else's shit. Because he's IT guy. So let's look at everyone else's stuff. Joseph Manderley. From Anna Navarre report. As ordered, I've maintained a close watch of Agent Denton during our operation in New York. I've found his performance to be adequate to the task, if not without certain occasional reluctance. But it's my opinion that nano-augmentations in no way compensate for experience, and Agent Denton quite obviously has a considerable amount of learning to do before he can be considered a fully qualified agent. Agent Herman concurs with this evaluation. I will file a more detailed report when time allows. So this email does change a little bit. If you slaughter more people, she'll really like your performance. But she says, it's adequate. He leaves people alive. That sucks. WS. Here's that WS again. To Joseph Manderley, arrival. I will be arriving at Liberty later today to survey the situation and assess the viability of the primary subject. Unless there are extenuating circumstances that you've so far failed to present to us, it's our belief that the primary may need to be terminated in favor of the secondary. Continue to profile the secondary's response to authority and mission objectives. If there is any deviation, isolate the subject for debriefing upon my arrival. So, again, it's kind of hard for me to decide when something is spoiler territory or when something is there if you're just picking up all the pieces. So if you haven't already figured it out, the primary and secondary unit that WS keeps talking about is in regards to me and Paul. Paul is the primary because he was first and is a full agent, and I'm the secondary. And they're evaluating the secondary unit right now. And WS is basically saying that the primary may need to be terminated. So whoever this WS is, he's basically telling my boss that Paul may need to be killed. Now, this is not something that J.C. Denton is going to approach anyone about, because again, the game is letting you make the connections. But because there's only 2 nano-augmented agents. It's me and Paul. So we are the primary and secondary units. So this WS is a piece of shit, whoever he is. Now, we also have Sam Carter. Antique. Nothing. We already saw Herman Manderley. We also have his assistant, Janice Reed, Red Shoes. Nothing. We have Jaime Reyes. He's Amigo. From Med Directorate to Jaime Reyes regarding Mech-Aug question. Information concerning the mechanism to which you refer is available only to those with a clearance of Throne 6G or higher. Further discussion of this matter with unauthorized personnel will result in disciplinary action. All subsequent questions should be directed to Director Manderley, UNATCO Office of Medical Directorate. While repairing one of our mech-augmented agents, I located a mechanism within the autonomic regulation system that was not present in any of the documentation I had available. I'm concerned that failure of this mechanism could lead to a complete autonomic shutdown of the agent's vital systems with the obvious consequences that would entail. I've attached additional CRI scans of the structure and surrounding blah blah blah. So, Jaime Reyes is concerned. He's found something that was never documented, and they're telling him to shut the fuck up about it. Wow. Okay. So, it's getting complicated, our relationship with UNATCO. Let's check Alex Jacobson. From Rosie Cross. The Oracle says, we find your question interesting. So here's that Oracle again, this underground secret group that you can contact to do investigative work for you. We find your question interesting. We have several references to entity token MJ12, but all are ambiguous. So if you remember, this is when we went into the sewer and we found those weird paramilitary troopers that were holding Fort Chick hostage. So Alex was talking to us in that section, so he's been looking into it for us. Will be necessary to expend cycles to clarify relationships for codification of representative patterns before further recognition can be accomplished. This will be time-consuming, but past working relationships have shown an 83.23 favorable return. Work with file SH-187 was very instructive. We will contact you again when information has been collated. The Oracle would like to know your favorite color. So they don't have a whole lot of information yet, but they're working on it. So Alex is trying to search some stuff. Trying to search some stuff for us. I think that's everyone. All right. Now let's go check out Jaime.
You might talk to my friend. He's a little down.
Okay.
Hey, what the hell?
What the hell? Heal all. Wow. I took so much damage, it couldn't even heal me fully. I'll do it again when it recharges.
Looks pretty bad down here.
Keeps getting worse, too. It must be raining bullets out there.
The NSF aren't kidding around. How you holding up?
Fine. I lost one of the privates because a refrigeration unit went down. That's always hard.
You've got a lot on your hands. Don't beat yourself up over faulty equipment.
By the way, we aren't in such shambles that we can't spare a few medkits. Check the storage closet. You certainly made an impression on the troops tonight. Looks like it's gonna be a late night for both of us.
I took a few hits tonight. The doc had to operate.
We'll get well soon, soldier.
Yes, sir. I will.
Thanks for talking to my friend. He admires you.
Nice. There we go. Nice and healed up. We still don't have access to level 4. Nothing there. He said check the storage closet. No! Stop it. I meant to do 6, not F6. A few! That was 1, Jaime! You liar. I forgot to check over here. What was this again? What was this again? I have lots of things here. I think it was 2001. Yeah, there we go. Waste of my goddamn time. Alright. I think we're good to talk to Joseph Manderley. But, this can be every time I've played this game, this part has gotten very glitchy. So I might have to restart a few times.
You'll have to wait a minute. Mr. Manderley is busy. You'll have to wait a minute. Mr. Manderley is busy. I was here first. Mr. Manderley is in a meeting, JC. You'll have to wait.
I was told to report for a debriefing.
A debriefing. Do not worry. You passed every test. You will be a most effective weapon for the Coalition. Be quiet. I am trying to listen.
Trying to listen? What's going on?
Just fire the arrogant son of a bitch.
I wasn't exaggerating. He's our best agent.
We don't need him. We've got his brother, and more are on the way.
He knows nothing.
I think he does. You should never have sent him to Hong Kong.
Let's be sensible. We have to look at the whole record.
Look, I understand. He was your pet project, but it's out of my hands. Now that the shipment's been lost.
I know. I will comply with the order.
That's all I ask. Carry on. I'm going downstairs to interrogate the prisoners.
Okay.
I cannot wait forever. He will see you when he's ready.
So he gets stuck on the door. And then sometimes he won't go through. See, now it's all fucking stuck. Ah! This sucks!
Carry on, Agent.
I cannot wait forever.
There we go.
He will see you when he's ready.
I had to help him a bit.
Agent Denton, at your service.
Denton. Yes, I hear you're turning out to be quite an asset to the Coalition.
Doing my best, sir. Forgive me, but I do not believe I know your name.
We aren't ready for an introduction yet. No, it's not time. Just keep your nose to the pavement. You'll be well rewarded. Trust me. You aren't needed, Agent. Manderley will give you your orders.
Government official. So we're going to be following him a bit. He's going to go down and talk to the prisoners we already talked to. And this is one of those completely optional things that really helps build the world up. So it's time to make a few more connections here. So we read the email from WS that he's coming to Liberty Island to discuss the primary and secondary unit. This government official just came to Liberty Island and was discussing Paul with Joseph Manderley. So although we don't know his full name, meet WS right here. This guy, we know, was actively involved in the chlorine spill on the water. This guy is bad fucking news. And he's also totally down with killing my brother. And Joseph Manderley...
I don't think you're supposed to be down here, Agent.
Because he, you know, like he just said, I know he was your pet project. But Joseph Manderley doesn't want to accept that Paul has been a complete failure as of yet. Alright, so when he goes into the room, we're going to sneak into the side room and watch.
I have one question.
They already asked. I don't know.
One must admire a man who can keep a secret because he has value. What you know more than others makes money and gives you a measure of power.
You Walton Simons? You think I could be bribed?
Oh!
Margaret Forsyth under NSF protection in Queens. Your son Richard attending Bronx Science. You see, I have a few relevant facts myself. Care to make a trade?
You wouldn't dare.
I'll give you 2 seconds to decide. Get out of here, Denton. This is none of your business.
He fully fucking gets in your face and tells you get out of here. And he just named him, Walton Simons.
Where is the NSF taking the ambrosia?
They asked me already. I don't know.
Need I remind you that in the case of a national emergency, FEMA has a list of 6 million Americans who will be transported to detention centers? Your tabloids call it RX-84.
Yeah, including the President, Congress, and the Supreme Court.
In my position, I find it very easy to add names to that list.
Go to hell. The United States government has had emergency powers since World War II. We've never left a state of war.
Speak for yourself. The federal government is just responding to a threat.
A government should be about more than self-perpetuation.
You will confess, by the way. I don't like to dirty my hands with that sort of thing, but you will confess.
Not done yet, we're still waiting.
Certain intellectual properties, aside from the quantities of vaccine, concern me deeply. Has the NSF made any attempt at reverse engineering?
Leave me alone.
Wait for it.
If you wanted to save people, you could have unloaded the whole shipment in Manhattan. Or the airlift.
You said it yourself. Secrets are power.
Not done yet.
We have less civilized ways of making you talk.
Uh-huh. What you gonna do, Walton Simons?
I am a patient man.
Ask me if I care.
But not that patient.
A government shouldn't have to occupy its own country with troops.
What the hell is going on?
If there wasn't organized oppression, there wouldn't be organized resistance, and what you call terrorism would not exist.
Oh my god, this fucking game is glitching out, dude. He didn't kill the other guy. Okay, alright, let's see if we can help this along. Nope.
You can lock me up, but you can't lock up the truth.
You saw nothing, Dutton. Report to Manderley.
You saw nothing. Report to Manderley.
Your turn. See what you can find out in Manhattan. The real plague eating at the minds of the American people is secessionism, regionalism, this new arrogance and sense of entitlement. Once the bug bites, you've already lost the patient. Do you have even a passing interest in doing your job? Quit screwing around. Leave, damn it. Do you have even a passing interest in doing your job?
So, this guy just straight up fucking murdered 2 unarmed prisoners.
I think Mr. Simons wants to be alone with the prisoner.
I fucking
won't say
love
anything,
that
but
scene.
I think you should go.
Even though it fucking totally glitched out and ended up being more comedic than anything, but that whole thing is optional. You can just continue on your mission and never see that. I fucking love it. You have to take the effort to follow him all the way down there, listen to that whole conversation, and then he admonishes you.
I am next.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello, JC. Come in. Clerical task first. Your op bonus is split between the Castle Clinton and warehouse objectives, 500 each. You get the full 1,000 plus 200 for how you handle the hostage situation in the Battery Park subway station. Good work across the board.
Yeah!
Thank you, sir. Who is that you were meeting with?
Politics, bureaucracy, mismanagement. JC, I've got some bad news. The mission failed.
I would have taken out that JoJo punk, but he wasn't even in the warehouse.
Never mind that. He slipped out before you even got to New York.
What about the shipment?
I'm just going to say it straight, JC. Your brother screwed up. We got nothing, and he's taking the heat this time. The Coalition is letting him go.
What went wrong?
We don't know. He hasn't reported back. The rest of the strike force says he lost his nerve.
I think he was trying to avoid casualties. In Hell's Kitchen, instead of clips for the troops, he was issuing tear gas.
Whatever the case, now it's your turn. We've got one more chance to retake that shipment.
Has it been located?
Take the chopper back to the city. We know they plan to put the Ambrosia on a plane, but we don't know which airfield.
Where should I start?
If I were the NSF, I'd be moving it through the subways, the abandoned parts of the infrastructure.
I'll check out the subways.
And stay away from the press this time, especially the tabloids. Do I need to quote the manual? Secrets are lives?
That's because I
Yes,
talked
sir.
to Joe Green.
I have been waiting for 20 minutes.
Sorry, Anna. What is it?
I would like to be reassigned to Agent Herman.
Why? Is Agent Denton?
He completed his objective, but our tactics are incompatible.
In other words, he didn't kill everything in sight.
He could have made a more thorough search for NSF targets, yes.
Our pilot Jock is waiting for you at the helipad. Let's not be hasty. He will improve.
That's what you said about his brother.
Let me say this once. That's a sore spot, and you know it.
You should have listened to me.
Aha. End of meeting. You have a lot to teach, JC. And that's why you're his partner.
Nevertheless, I will submit my concerns in writing to Walton Simons, as I did regarding Paul.
I got Manderley's office key. And UNATCO closet key. No new messages. Get off me! Art of War by Sun Tzu. Attack by Stratagem. Sun Tzu said, "In the practical art of war, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy it is not so good. So too is it better to recapture an army entire than to destroy it, to capture a regiment, a detachment, or a company entire than to destroy them. Hence, to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting." Alright.
If you see your brother, send him my way. He didn't report back.
You have your orders for Mr. Manderley.
I know. Everyone chill out.
Good luck, JC. Good luck, JC.
All right, so we're going to have to pick up the pieces. And that's pretty much the end of this episode. So, we have a lot to think about here. And again, the game lets you make your own judgments and how you feel about things. So if you've been following along with the series, paying attention to the plot and all the little elements, we know J.C. Denton is a good guy. He wants to do the right thing. We also know he's a bit naive. Every time he's talking to people and they're talking about conspiracies, he's like, it doesn't go that far. You're out of your mind and everything like that. He doesn't really believe all of that shit about the government. And yet we're seeing as a player that shit is going down and there's a lot more secrets. And as we've been plugging away through emails and stuff, we're starting to uncover those secrets. So if you are starting to feel like maybe our alliance with UNATCO isn't the best thing, then you're on the right path. You're supposed to be feeling conflicted. And we still don't know what's going on with Paul, but it's obvious that he's not really working with UNATCO in the way they want anymore. He's kind of gone rogue. The game says they're letting him go, whatever that means, if they're just firing him or Walton Simons wants to kill him. So we still don't know what happened with Paul in Hong Kong. We still don't know what he did to fuck up the mission with the NSF generator. So we've got a lot of questions, but at the very least, you should be left feeling, wow, are we really working for the right people? And that's where we're going to go ahead and end it. Next episode, we're going to go ahead and try to find these missing barrels of ambrosia and another lengthy mission that will take us all the way to LaGuardia Airport. So thank you very much for joining me. I will see you next time. You stay safe out there, and have a good night.